Shalom Zion. All honor, glory, and praise goes to the Most High Yahweh in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach. Brothers and sisters, I pray that y'all are having an excellent day or night in the Most High Yahweh. It's a beautiful day today. I'm loving this day that the Most High has made. And I want to give y'all this biblical reading order breakdown of this particular chart so you can understand why it was made and how you can use this to further your studies and your walk with the Most High. Now, over time, I've read all these different books here. And over time, I noticed where they could fit in the order of things. And so when it came time for me to put this together, it didn't take me that long to put all this together because of much reading and much studying of these different books, Jubilees, Jasher, Book of Enoch. And as you go along, you'll see that this can be changed by you or me, however y'all want to. Now, I haven't added to the word or taken away from it. This is just a biblical reading order. It's nothing against the Most High's word, Zion. Just in case some of you who might instantly think, oh, he's adding and taking away from the word. No, I'm not adding nothing to the word. I'm not taking away. It's just putting in a good order that you can read it yourself. And I'm doing a biblical reading to give you something to listen to. Let's say you want to listen, you can go to sleep on that. You know, listening to me reading the word. And I just go through the whole, I'm going to go through the whole thing where you can just listen to it. If you're at work, if you're whatever. But anyway, I start here with Genesis chapter 1 through 6. Then we get into more things that happen right here in Jubilees chapter 1 through 4. But it lines up with Genesis chapter 1 through 6. And the same thing with Genesis chapter 1 through 6. It lines up with this. Then we get into more things that happen in between this time period in the book of Enoch. We go through chapters 1 through 36 and then 37 through 55. These are all things that happen during this time frame in these books. Then we jump right back to Genesis 7 through 10, Jasher chapter 7. We stop right there. Jump back to Genesis 11, because this here is more stuff that happened right up in here. Then we come back here, read that. Then we jump back into the book of Jubilees. And this is more stuff that happened over here. And you get a fuller understanding as you go along, Zion. Then we jump back into the book of Enoch and finish it off, reading 56 through 108. Then we jump back and get into Abraham, Genesis, some more of Abraham, Genesis chapter 12, 13, 8 through Jasher chapters 8 through 14, so on and so forth. But when we get to Genesis chapter 14 through 15, we read only up to verse 16, where Abraham had the vision. Then we go into the apocalypse of Abraham. Y'all see how I got that broken down? Then we come right back to where we left off in Genesis and finish off that chapter, and then go into chapter 16 through chapter 19. Then we go into more things that happen in these two books next. Then we jump right back to Genesis. Y'all see how I got this laid out? As you go along, you're going to read, you're going to start really understanding and putting this thing together. Especially when you read it all the way down and then you start all over again. You're going to have even that much more understanding by the time you come back to the beginning. So we read down to Genesis chapter 25, then we get it to Jacob's Ladder. And I'm going to have this link on my website where you can download the PDF version of this particular book or letter, so you can read it and you get the understanding whether this should be included here or not. You could take it out if you want to. You can leave it in if you want to after you read it. And then we go on from there. Genesis, back to back, same old thing, all the way down here, even into Exodus. We're still reading Jubilees and Jasher, and we finish off Jubilees and Jasher right here in Exodus chapters 15 through 40. Then we come in and we finish off starting into Joshua 1 through 6. We end Jasher 90 through 91, because this was events that happened around this particular time frame. Then we read Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. I put Job right here. This is a special case right here, Zion. Why I put Job here is because Job happened during this time period, somewhere around this time. I'm still working on that. The reason why he's here is because he was during the time of when Esau's firstborn, what was his name, Eliphaz? His firstborn Eliphaz was an old man, and he was a friend of Job. And Issachar, I believe Issachar's fourth son was named Job. And I believe that's that same Job, because it was during the time frame that the oldest son of Esau was still alive. And that's why I put that right here. And then we go into Joshua, Judges, and Ruth was during the time of the Judges. If you read Ruth, so I put Ruth right behind Judges. 1st and 2nd Samuel, we're going to read that. Then when we get to 1 Kings, we're going to start with chapter 1 and go to chapter 14. Now, during chapter 14, Elijah entered that cave, and that's possibly where he had this vision, the apocalypse of Elijah. Then you read this book. Now remember, I'm going to put links to all these books where you can download the PDF yourself. I might use MediaFire to just upload all these there, and then hook up the reference link on my channel with the download links. So y'all look out for that. If I don't have it up right now, y'all wait on it. It should be up today, at the latest tomorrow. So I put that there because he was in a cave, and more than likely he did have this vision in that cave or sometime afterward. Then we pick up right where we left off into the next chapter, and we keep going, and we stop right here in 2 Kings chapter. You read chapters 1 through chapters 21. This is where Manasseh, the king of Judah, died. But he had a prayer. So we go right into the prayer of Manasseh. Then we come right back and pick it up right where we left off. Now remember, this is in the Apocrypha as well. Then we read 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus. Because this is all during the time of King David and Solomon right here. Then we get into our captivities. Before our captivity, after captivity, Isaiah, the ascension of Isaiah, if y'all haven't read that one there. I don't know where he had the vision. That's why I didn't break it down. So read all of Isaiah, then read the ascension of Isaiah. If you could figure out where he had this vision somewhere in there, I'm going to reread it again, and I'm just going to let the Spirit work. Maybe we can work on this together and find out where did he have this vision, so we can put it where it belongs, inside of here, or in between somewhere. But anyway, for now, it's right here behind the book of Isaiah, Jeremiah, the Epistle of Jeremiah, the letter of Jeremiah. It's right here. Lamentations, Book of Second Baruch was during the time of Jeremiah, during the captivities. Now, Ezekiel, Daniel, Prayer of Azariah is right here because that was during the time of Daniel. The Coptic Apocalypse of Daniel. Now, I had to read this one. That's why I got a question mark behind it. And I want y'all to read it. And that, whatever you come up with between you and the Most High, you can erase that or leave it. It depends on what you come up with. So this is the one I haven't read, Zion. But I put it there because of it's right here during the time of Daniel. Now, Daniel was during the time of the Babylonian captivity going into the Medes and Persian captivity. That's why it's there. And then you got the Song of the Three Holy Children, History of Susanna, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum is all here, but during the Babylonian, Medes, and Persian, rolling into this is mostly the Babylonian and some of the beginning of the Medes and Persian. And right here, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, this here's the Medes and Persian captivity, Judith, Esther, rest of Esther, Bel and the dragon, and this here started the Greek captivity. Ezra, Nehemiah, first Ezra. So you got the Babylonian rolling into the Medes and the Persians, rolling into the Greeks, and then finally rolling into the Roman captivity here with Matthews through John, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, 1st and 2nd John, Revelations, then Jude, Acts, Paul's letters, Romans through Hebrews, and then finally the Apocalypse of Paul. Y'all need to check that and read that out. Read that yourself. Now, this document is subject to change by you or me, and you could share it as well. You can change my information here and put your own information. You can use MediaFire, which I included in the description box, a link to that, to upload this document after you download it to your computer. You can re-upload it using MediaFire and use the MediaFire link to share with others on your videos and on your websites where they can download as well. So this is just a rough breakdown of the reading order, Zion, and you can add more texts and books as you feel. And if you read the Apocalypse of Abraham, you see something you don't understand, bring before the Most High. Maybe it's just a mistranslation before you throw it, to the curve. The same thing with Jubilees and Jasher. If you have any problems understanding the interpretations and things that seem off, such as who killed, you're going to come across these two. Who killed Cain? Who killed Nimrod? You're going to find two different versions when you get to them, but there's an explanation for that. I'm still working on who killed Cain. I know it was Lamech and Tubal-Cain who accidentally killed him with the arrow, but then in one of these versions here, I think it's Jubilees, it says that the house fell on him, the stones. So that's something, but the rest of everything else is sound. So it has to do something with the heathen's translation or something. I haven't figured that out yet. But in concerning who killed Nimrod, you got two stories. One says Shem killed Nimrod, and one says that it was Esau. Now, I figured out that particular portion. I have to explain this right now. The Nimrod was killed by Shem. If you look at the time frame that Nimrod was born around the time of Shem, and when Abraham was young, a young baby at the time. And at the time of his death, Shem killed him. Esau wasn't even around yet to kill Nimrod. So here's the understanding of that. That was one of Nimrod's sons, who was, they called him Tammuz, but that was supposed to have been Nimrod reincarnated. So he was the rebirth of Nimrod, and that's why they called his son Nimrod as well. And he was alive at the time during Esau. So it was actually Esau who killed his son Nimrod. That's the breakdown of that. And it took me a while to understand. I couldn't get it. So I just brought it before the throne room of the Most High to help me understand it. I couldn't understand, well, wait a minute, what is this conflicting stories here? How did Esau wasn't born, how did he kill Nimrod? I just couldn't make sense of it. Did he go back in time? This was during the time of when Abraham was a youngling. At the time of Nimrod. This is during the time of Shem. Shem was dead when Esau was born. Oh, wait a minute. Was he alive? Well, he died soon after he was born. Him and Jacob. That's right, they was alive. I think Jacob was alive during the time. Yeah. He died not too long after that. But they still was young men at the time when Shem finally died. But Nimrod was already dead way before that. So how was it Esau who killed Nimrod? So I know that was part of the works of the heathens and their mistranslations and stuff like that. So y'all look out for that when you come across that while you're reading this book. So I just had to explain that. Now concerning who killed Cain, did the house follow him, or was it Lamech and with his son Tubal Cain? I think it was Lamech and Tubal Cain. And I don't know how that particular part of the translation of the story of a house falling on Cain fits in. I'm still working on that, Zion, but the rest, it's good. Everything else is good. It's just, I just don't understand that portion just yet. So right now it's the translation or something that has to do with the translation. I don't know, Zion. Y'all help me work that thing out with who killed Cain. Was it the house, or was it Lamech and Tubal Cain? I'm running with Lamech Tubal Cain because in Genesis it talks about Lamech and Tubal Cain. Lamech killed Cain by accident. And it matches up in, I think, the book of Joshua or Jubilees, one of these books, where it continues the story about, it shows you how Lamech and Tubal Cain killed Cain. So that's the two conflicting things that I've been trying to figure out about Cain. Even though I'm going with one side, but I'm trying to figure out, well, did they mess up with that other story that's in this one of these books here, where the house fell on Cain and killed him, like where someone messed up in the translation with Esau killing the first Nimrod? So y'all tell me what y'all think about that. So I just wanted to explain that. But remember, go to my website, download this, it's free. Share this document with whoever. You could change this information if you would like. Put your information in place of this. And remember, my Hebrew alternative website is under construction, so I I'm going to be working on that after I'm done with this one. You know, I'll make time for this when I can, but this is my main website I'm going to be working through for Son of the Most High channel. And when I eventually get going with Yah Almighty Ministries channel, I'll be connecting that with that as well and working through that as well. So y'all keep me in your prayers, and thank y'all for tuning in to this biblical reading order breakdown. Shalom.